Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. That is a sentence I didn't think I'd be saying, well, literally ever again. I thought at the very least it would be if Battlefront 3 was ever released, then I'd return to the franchise, because there are the release notes for the final patch, the actual final patch of Battlefront 2. It's only a small one and there are a few fixes that did need to be made that have been made, just so that they can now step away from the game and not focus on it anymore, with a clear conscience that they haven't left anything game breaking in this game, because there was one thing that had to be addressed and it has been. These are also all concerning heroes, and the first one is that they have fixed an issue that would allow players to build up Darth Vader's damage reduction trait, essentially making him a tank who is so much harder to kill. Now, if you remember from the last Battlefront 2 video I did, that was actually a Vader nerf in itself, and that was also a nerf of his abilities, although this one focuses on his trait. Next up, and this is the absolute huge one, is that they have fixed the issue with General Grievous's Claw Rush attack, where he could hit opponents multiple times in a very short time. Now, if you didn't know, in the last update, the Scarif update, they changed how the charging attacks work, whether that would be Rey's dashing strike, Han's shoulder charge, or Grievous's claw rush, where it was no longer using the left stick to slowly maneuver your character left or right. Your character now attacked wherever you aimed the camera, so they could turn immediately and suddenly round to turn 180 and go back the other direction. And while that wasn't an issue with Rey or Han, especially Han, because once Han connects with you with his shoulder, he starts an animation that pulls him out of that ability, whereas General Grievous's claw rush can knock you to the ground, and then he can spin around so quickly that he spins around and does damage while you're on the ground again, and he can do it again, and it is such a cheap move that had to be removed from the game. They couldn't have stepped away from the game and said, here is our final product of Battlefront 2. Yes, there's still this feature that's completely broken. That would have just left a sour taste in everyone's mouths, and no one would want to go back and play heroes versus villains at all. They have also fixed an issue with Darth Maul, where if he does his spin attack, sometimes he would turn around and would not be able to block. He would take damage despite him holding up his lightsaber as if he was going to deflect blaster bolts. He would just take loads of damage and he wouldn't be able to block again. So again, that makes sense. We need that patched so that once they step away from the game, it is in a much better state. And these last two both concern Boba Fett and are both completely menial, very small changes, but it's nice to see that they've addressed them. The first one is that they fixed the VFX that play while he is being ragdolled. His jetpack VFX would go all over the place, and even if you're holding LT, maybe you won't see any fire coming out the bottom of that jetpack. And they've also fixed the issue where Boba Fett's jetpack icon, the fourth and central ability, his icon would not be greyed out while his abilities are blocked. And the truly last update doesn't actually concern the gameplay itself, but they updated the EA Access and the Origin Access logos to show EA Play, because if you didn't know, EA Access and Origin Access were both subscription services where you could get access to a lot of EA's titles. EA Access was for the consoles for Xbox and PlayStation, and then Origin Access was for the PC, and they've brought those all together under the umbrella of EA Play, which has been their brand, as you will probably know, for their E3 showcases, and it makes sense that you make the same name apply across the platforms. And now just some general information. The deployment time is tomorrow, or August 26th, and it will launch on Xbox One first, followed by PlayStation 4 an hour later, and then an hour after that you will get it on the PC. And the download sizes are smallest for the PlayStation 4 at 500 megabytes, then PC is 500 to 750 megabits, and finally the Xbox One is 900, which is a very significant size jump, so it's quite interesting. I don't know why that is, but it will take up a bit more space on your Xbox One. And that is all for this video. I was not expecting to be making this at all. This was actually accidentally deployed about a week or two ago, and then it was immediately revoked, because that wasn't when they had intended to make that patch go live. And here we are with the actual final patch for Star Wars Battlefront 2. I haven't actually played the game in a good while now, but I will go back for this patch, and I'm not sure there will be any videos on it. Maybe I'll do one or two, maybe to show that Grievous's claw rush has actually been fixed, give some evidence of that, but because this is such a small patch, I could hardly make a load of videos out of it. So let me know if you're going to hop back on Battlefront 2 tomorrow. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Thanks for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you next time.